Perception of awareness. According to Wikipedia under subliminal stimuli, quote, any sensory stimuli below an individual's threshold for conscious perception. A recent review of functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRIs, studies show that subliminal stimuli activate specific regions of the brain despite participants being aware. Visual stimuli may be quickly flashed before an individual can process them, or flashed and then masked, thereby interrupting the processing. Audio stimuli may be played below audible volumes or masked by other stimuli. Example: study after study conducted by the leading universities in America, New York University, Berkeley, Stanford, have concluded the brain and the body can be controlled by either constant or intermittent stimuli without a person being aware of his conscious actions. I believe with all sincerity, this very thing is being put into use to lead the masses into submission and prep them for whatever agenda the powers that be have on the horizon. My older brother and I were discussing what we thought at the time was a drought in creativity and ideas in Hollywood. But upon further review of the research of evil people, I see now there isn't a drought in Hollywood. They are simply conditioning the people for what is about to befall them. I believe the Bible proves the world will be infested once again with demigods / Gibberum / mighty men, just like in the days of ancient past, and I believe Hollywood is ushering in that infestation without you being aware. With the constant beat of the same drum, movie themes, you will unconsciously accept upcoming events as though you already knew they were going to happen. Every movie, miniseries, or modern cartoon is either about someone or something supernatural coming and saving us from either ourselves or a foe coming to destroy the earth. Or a mutation either by choice or accident cause a human to become either a cyborg or a misunderstood superhero outcast that helps the hapless people of the city fight crime against Mr. Big. Using a little reverse logic, we can easily see where the evildoers have just flipped the script and is now portraying themselves as the savior of the puny people of Earth. Just like the actions of a psychopath, the assailant can't help themselves and either return to the scene of the crime or leave clues for you to figure out who is committing the crime. Let's start with all the Masonic symbols in just about every film being released, including all the animated movies and cartoons pushed on your children. All-seeing eyes, pyramids, demonic stars of David, you name it, each film has it. Even SpongeBob, for Pete's sakes. The Stargate trilogy started things off with its affection for Ra, the Egyptian god, that just so happens to be a spin-off into a successful television series. Raiders of the Lost Ark series was notorious for its symbolism and worship of the occult. The Matrix, Theosophy, Transformers, Flip Fallen Angels, X-Men, Genetic Enhancement, Captain America, Genetic Enhancement, Fantastic Four, Genetic Enhancement, and the Star Wars Theosophy sagas are a great example of this. Believe it or not, Darth Vader was supposed to be the Messiah, and the Jedi are the fallen angels, and the Force, guess who that was? Yep, Lucifer. All of the superhero movies from Superman, demigod, to Hercules, demigod, to Spider-Man, genetic enhancement, to Thor, demigod, to the Watchmen, demigods, are all geared this way. We have the Immortals, mighty men, the Clash of the Titans, mighty men, franchises, even Will Smith, demigod, and Wesley Snipes, Blade, vampire hybrid, got in on the action. The Hellboy trilogy, hybrid demigods, is as obvious as you can possibly get, I guess. Ghost Rider, necromancy, demon spirits, Spawn, demon spirit, and Legion, fallen angel, demon spirits, are obvious reads also, I guess. The Underworld trilogy was based on the hybridization of humans and immortal beasts. Vampires and zombie movies seem to be the rage these days, as immortality lurks in the hearts of men. The Twilight sagas have enthralled the youth and adults alike with its morbid sense of teen love and immortality. Can't you just hear little girls around the world saying, "How cool would it be to live forever and be with Jimmy?" The movies Oblivion and Prometheus were Lucifer's attempt of Socratic questioning by posing an alternative viewpoint on mankind's creation, with alien beings being our progenitors. The movie Avatar mesmerized our five senses while masking its theosophy, transhuman, and extra-dimensional agendas. iRobot, RoboCop, and Almost Human are the first wave of the artificial intelligence format evildoers must have you embrace. Oh, I forgot about the Terminator. Let's not even start talking about all the witchcraft and paranormal, spirit-invoking movies that have flooded the market as of late. Everything from Harry Potter, witchcraft, to the Chronicles of Narnia, mythology, hybrid creatures, are pure demonic through and through. Every Disney film put out for your children are led with rebellious themes, subliminal sexual content, and hybridization as the norm. Everything from the Little Mermaid, demigod, to the Beauty and the Beast, hybrids, to Aladdin, genie, jinn, demon, are packaged in a pretty story designed to dull the natural senses of resistance to evil in young impressionable minds. Remember, children can sense evil. Subliminal words like sex and hidden sexual parts are littered throughout all the Disney films. Did you notice the monster in Lilo and Stitch's real name was 626, which is 6 plus 2 more 6s, which is 666. If you teach a child the way they should go, when they get old, they will return to those ways, or something like that. Children born in the 50s and the 60s were subjected to the most demonic influences in the history of the world. Everything from their music, sex revolution, drug culture, ideologies, and the television shows were pure demonic through and through. Have you ever watched an original episode of Star Trek? Oh my goodness! Every episode is a direct slap in the face to the creator. The characters and the worlds they were exploring were the actual names of false deities and situations of ancient past. It was the New Age theosophy indoctrination of the youth in that day. The original Batman is the exact same way. The props used on the set are a who's who of mythical icons. On a different note, but was definitely within the same song, are modern board and card games. Dungeons and Dragons is the first to pop into my head, followed by the Rune game. Again, nothing is new under the sun, and this game is just another attempt of the doers of evil to get you to summon them. Let me explain. There are many theories as to the origins of the runes. What we do know through history, literary, and generational records is that they were used by the Germanic and the northern countries for their alphabet, and they also served as a system of symbols used for magic and divination. As the Roman letter system became more dominant, runes were relegated to the occult until Adolf Hitler resurrected the practice. In fact, every child that went through the Hitler youth camps, Pope Benedict, had to learn the important and spiritual nature of the runes. I see now the same spirits have crept their way back into the minds and hearts of mankind in friendly board games with children being the mediators. We live in a world where truth is sold as fiction and fiction is peddled as the truth. If the evildoers were to devise just one device to ensnare mankind with its own two hands, it would have definitely come with a remote control. You sit there day after day, month after month, year after year. Men, women, and children of all colors, creed, and religions, fixated on the flickering lights while asphyxiating yourself, your ability to true reasoning. Let me say that again. Fixated on the flickering lights while asphyxiating your ability of true reasoning. If it's not sports, it's a reality show, all designed to put you into a hypnotic state to be indoctrinated with the agendas of the elite. What type of nonsense am I spewing at you now? Well, according to Yahoo News, under your brainwaves change when you watch TV. Quote, if you experience brain fog after watching television, you are not alone. Studies have shown that watching television induces low alpha waves in the human brain. Alpha waves are brain waves between 8 to 12 hertz and are commonly associated with relaxed meditative states as well as brain states associated with suggestibility. While alpha waves achieved through meditation are beneficial, too much time spent in the low alpha wave state caused by television can cause unfocused daydreaming and inability to concentrate. Researchers have said that watching television is similar to staring at a blank wall for several hours. Example, now you know why the government made you switch to digital television. To enhance the brainwashing, of course. The higher the definition, HD TV, the deeper the trance. Studies have proven that within 5 minutes of an average television watcher, your brain goes into a hypnotic state. It only takes 45 minutes if you have never watched television before. Repetition of the desired programming is also used to plant the seeds of discord within your subconscious mind, lurking there like a predator in the night, where only opportunity stands in the way of righteousness and the true desires of one's heart. Hitler perfected this method back in the 1940s. Did you know Germany had viewing stations set up all throughout Bavaria with 40-inch television screens showing the Olympics? The masters of the dark side has seemingly merged perception without awareness into a medium that hypnotizes the hapless suckers into the society they always wanted. What's going on in the background is just as important as what is on in the foreground. This is where the evildoers slide into your subconscious their false messages of spiritual rebellion and to remain in your sleep-like slumber. They mass download demonic information to sell you their trinkets and have a unified mindset all at the same time. Russia calls its television actors cultural leaders because that is exactly what actors are. Their television programs are designed to direct the culture in which way they seem fit. For example, 5 years ago, it was unheard of to have openly gay people on television, and the world society agreed. Now, you can't have a television program without an openly gay person, and lo and behold, world society agrees again, or agrees now. The same thing with having a dog in your homes. As soon as the television made it the in thing to do, now everybody has a dog scooting their itchy asses across the same carpet you let your young infant baby crawl around on. Television dictates what is politically correct behavior and what is not. Pop stars are now the social barometer for right and wrong. It is reported by the age of 4, toddlers are imitating who they see on television. 55% of all 69-year-old girls have used lipstick or gloss, with 2/3 of them using nail polish. You guys think like the boob tube. You act like the boob tube. You dress like they do on the tube and aspire to be on the boob tube. You believe the tube is your reality and your own lives unreal. Patent after patent for hypnosis, television, and the control of human behavior have been granted and are available for all to see if only you wanted to research it. Do you not think they are using their devices? Whatever your mind conceives as true, your subconscious acts on it. You place your young, impressionable children in front of the tube while they watch Mr. Rogers, not knowing he was addicted to yayo the whole time. You turn it on Elmo, not knowing the guy with his hand up Elmo's ass is a raging homosexual child molester. It takes Tickle Me Elmo to a whole nother level, huh? And have you ever looked at the Teletubbies? Heavens to Betsy. It's the gayest thing I've ever seen in my life. These little whatevers go around and giggle, hunch, and tickle each other's butts the entire show. The way I look at it now, either the people of the world are truly demonic and like to watch repeated grotesque images and storylines of hybrid beings and unthinkable acts which make the movie studios give the people what they want, or they are being conditioned, sensitized by the movie studios for what is about to come upon the earth. Luke 21 and 26. Quote, men's hearts faileth them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven are shaken. Ladies and gentlemen, what are the powers of heaven? Who are the powers of heaven? Man, them things coming to the earth. They are coming here. Example. Again, we now live in a world where truth is sold as fiction and fiction is peddled as truth. Example. Did you know the best news anchors and reporters are the advanced students of psychology and practice a form of word and visual programming each and every time you tune in? They are educated in the art of misdirection and planting seeds of doubt subconsciously with each hand gesture, voice influx, and Socratic questioning that is seamlessly orchestrated day in and day out. According to Wikipedia under Neuro Linguistic Programming, quote, NLP is an approach to communication, personal development, and psychotherapy created by Richard Badler and John Grindler in California. Its creators claim connection between the neurological processes, the neuro, language, linguistics, and behavioral patterns learned through experiencing programming, and that these can be changed to achieve specific goals in life. NLP has been adopted by some hypnotherapists and in seminars marketed to business and governments. The more recently, 1997, Badler has claimed NLP is based on finding out what works and formalizing it. In order to formalize patterns, I utilize everything from linguistics to holography. Thank you. I had to get it right. Holography. The modes that constitute NLP are predicated calculus and the mathematical equations underlining holography. NLP is predicated on the notion that consciousness is bifurcated into a conscious component and an unconscious component. Those subjective representations that occur outside of an individual's awareness comprise what is referred to as the unconscious mind. Although the original core techniques of NLP were therapeutic in orientation, their generosity enables them to be applied to other fields. These applications include persuasion, sales, negotiations, management training, sports, teaching, coaching, team building, and public speaking. Example. First, they hypnotize you with their television by putting you into an alpha wave state. Then they fill you up with every form of foulness possible. Man, that is evil genius. But wait, have you noticed the powers that be are now trying to hook you into watching television on your cell phones and computer screens now? Well, guess why? They are more addictive and hypnotic than televisions. Unbeknown to the viewer, even looking at your computer screen puts you into an alpha and beta wave trance, which is extremely suggestive every time you push the on button. In fact, it is said to work on the same neural system as heroin and just as addictive. Music is no different. In fact, Satan was created to play music. I don't want to take from the next book, in which I dig a little deeper into the music industry, but let me give you a few nuggets of information to start you on your way. Did you know sounds can penetrate your very molecular structure? Even intentions can affect your bodily functions. There was a scientist by the name of Matsuru Emoto who wrote the words love and hate on water samples, froze them, and then looked under the microscope at the designs of the water crystals. To his amazement, the water crystals with the words love on them were very beautiful, while the crystals with the word hate written on them were ugly blobs. I bid you to Google his experiment and be amazed. Likewise with music. Did you know music was addictive with the properties to change your mood, be highly suggestive, and change your harmonious vibrational balance? According to Medial reports, under researchers show why music is so addictive. Quote, researchers reported in a current journal, Nature Neuroscience, that feeling pleasure in response to music is not only psychologically manifested through the feelings of chills, but also biochemically induced to release a dopamine, similar to reactions caused by food, drugs, and sexual arousal. In other words, there's a reason some people seem addicted to their music. Dopamine is important because it makes us want to repeat behaviors. It is the reason why addiction exists, whether positive or negative. In this case, the euphoric highs from music are neurochemically reinforced by your brain, so we keep coming back to them. It's like a drug. It works on the same system as cocaine. It's working on the same system of addiction, which explains why we are willing to spend so much time and money trying to achieve musical experiences. Example. Now I finally understand how an entire nation of people could continue to listen to the most degrading music ever put on the airwaves. Hip-hop. They are addicted to it. No matter how horrible and untalented they sound, African Americans are addicted to listening to it. I personally have had to rethink my relationships with certain people I have repeatedly informed of the ills of hip-hop, and their responses was, I know it's wrong, but fuck it. I've been listening to it since I was 5, and I'm not going to stop listening to it now. They sound just like a person on crack rock. Like I said earlier, I don't want to spill the beans on the next book, so I will wrap it up by saying this. By beholding, you become. The ideal tyranny is that which is ignorantly self-administered by the victim. The most perfect slaves are therefore those which blissfully and unawarely enslave themselves. Thank you for listening, and look for the next video. Oh, look at Mr. Rogers. Yep, said he was high on yayo the whole time. The whole time. Talking about he want to come in your neighborhood. No, do you want to come in his neighborhood? No, you a pedophile. No, he wasn't. He wasn't a pedophile. I don't want no libel and slander. No, but he was high on cocaine though. But okay, I'm gonna go through this. Have a good night.